Hey guys, welcome to another session of Flow Trained video tutorials of AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner course. And today we'll be discussing about the AWS Global Infrastructure. So what I'm talking about is, as you can see over my screen, AWS Global Infrastructure. I'm talking about regions, I'm talking about availability zones, I'm talking about edge locations. So global presence, when I say AWS has data centers in, let's say, US West, US East. I have some data centers in South America. Then some are spread out in Europe, some are present in Asia, and further going to Australia region. So global presence means availability of global infrastructure, global data centers, global servers to handle the AWS services, to provide the AWS services with minimum latency, and this is only possible if you have global presence, because your customers are international. You cannot contain your customer to a certain geography. So the customer can come from any part of the world. So to ensure that your application responds quickly, regardless of the call being made to your application from a particular geography, it will be possible only if you are distributing your content or distributing your resources globally. And that is achieved through the terminology of defining regions. When you start any service in AWS, you define a region, you define availability zone, right? And then there are certain services that AWS provide that make use of edge locations to further enhance the low latency access of the resources throughout the globe. So region, when I come to region, so region is nothing but it's a separate geographic area, as we have seen in the map also, and it is completely independent. See, maintaining independent geographic regions is important to promote the fault tolerance and stability, and to promote high availability of the applications that are built on AWS. And of course, the communication is there between regions, as you can see across a public internet, and data encryption, data security, all measures are taken care of by AWS. So resources can be replicated across regions, across geographies explicitly, but they will not be implicitly copied or replicated. But yes, there are provisions where we can promote the replication of data resources across geographies, across regions. Then coming on to the subdivision of a region, we call it as availability zone. These are nothing but data centers, and they are physically isolated from each other so that we can contain a disaster to bare minimum. We can contain the effect of disaster only if we can isolate the availability zones, the data centers, right? If they are physically isolated in a region, right? So they are geographically separated, definitely, because if a particular disaster stuck a particular geography, we can ensure, okay, the data center or availability zone that is there in working in, will be up and running in another geography. So redundancy is promoted, right? That ultimately enhance the high availability, fault tolerance capability of the AWS applications. Now coming on to the edge locations. Edge locations, for now, we should understand as a provision which enhance the content distribution with reduced latency throughout the world. It doesn't matter from what location the service is being accessed. Uh, the edge locations ensure that low latency access is promoted. We will definitely get to know more about edge locations when we will be discussing about CDN services, that is cloud front in AWS. So for now, guys, this is what I wanted to discuss in AWS Global Infrastructure. Thank you.